I think episode 6 Just Because is easily my favorite episode of the series, but before we jump in and talk about episode 6, like the title says, there will be no episode 7 next week. It is taking a 1-week break. I'll have a link pinned in the description so you can go to it. You'll obviously have to auto-translate with Google or something because it is a Japanese site, but yes, they are taking 1-week break, which is not surprising based on how much production issues Pine Jam is currently having with this show. Not all the episodes even have all the storyboards completed yet, so yes, they are struggling with productions, though with how this episode actually looked and functioned, you wouldn't expect that this is a series currently having production issues. And a lot of people keep trying to say that I'm lying or I'm overreacting, but like, you can just look up the facts on how bad this production is going, or even just follow the director's Twitter where he rants every single week. But yes, this is having production issues, but I come up here and praise the show every single week, so I don't really see how I'm over-hating like so many seem to think for whatever reason. But episode 6 of this series is really, really good. I love how they're really handling this multi-layer romance element of who likes who, because typically these kind of romance triangles, or in this case it's far past a triangle, but these kind of one person likes the person who likes another person, it just kind of cycles. It can get a little too much. Like, I do like those types of stories, but I can definitely feel a little annoyed and like it's a little too much off and on. But I feel like the way Just Because it's doing it, there's something that I really can't put my finger on. Like, nothing really should feel that much better than I've seen in past anime, but for whatever reason, I feel like it clicks so naturally, and even though not all these relationships can have a happy ending, it just feels so perfect and not that worrisome is the way I would put it, where it should, because all these characters can't end up in a good place unless they stop liking one of the people, so then the relationships can connect without any drama. But I really liked how they're doing it. Like, I really feel like they're nailing that school life. Like, now that we're more focusing on the actual school portion of it, it really does feel like that awkward teenager, like when Haruto walks in on our main character and he thinks he's at first base and he's just kind of like walking out like, yo, when did my best friend get there? Like, there's a lot of really funny moments that really is that teenage awkwardness that I really enjoy with how they're portraying it, but all the little just conversations and how the relationships are kind of intertwining together, it really feels natural for high school. Even Haruto's crush, now that she's given him a kind of like update on the confession that she kind of blurted out an answer because she thought she had to, but she hasn't fully decided, and if he can wait, she'll give him an updated answer down the line, but he shouldn't get his hopes up because her college is going to be outside of the town they live in. But Haruto is such a great person. I love his character so much that he doesn't care. He's like, I might get a yes, you take all the time you need. If you need to go to a college that's outside of where we live, I'll make this work. He's the type of guy who would make this relationship work as long as he could be by her side, and I love that type of character. I love how pure he is, and I also love how she is kind of contemplating because she's seeing how much this guy actually truly likes her, and that he has a reason for liking her just past her pretty face, that he has a reason that all those baseball games that he would be, he listened to her trumpeting, kind of cheering him on. There's a reason that he likes her, and even though she may not have felt that way about him originally because she really didn't know him before they started hanging out, it really is starting to kind of like make her fall in love, it feels like, and that's kind of how it works. So once you fall in love, you're kind of hooked, even if you can't explain why it is, even if it logically doesn't make sense, even if you have a reason not to be with that person because in her case she's going to be going to school, she needs to focus on her schooling, she's going to be a long distance relationship. But once you fall in love, you know, you'll do whatever you can to make that relationship work. And I love how they're kind of intertwining all these certain characters, seeing other characters with another, getting a misunderstanding, like with our main character and Camera Girl here. Like, obviously he wasn't hitting on her. It does feel like she might try to be hitting on him. Obviously she's just doing it for her photography, but it feels like she's starting to get a crush on him, where our main character is obviously just helping her out, kind of like bringing her home after that whole incident with the police and a guy blaming her for taking his picture without his permission. I just like how these like relationships are intertwining and connecting together, and I think it feels so pure and feels like what high school would be if you made a story like this. And I just love how our main character brings Haruto back to have a baseball game, and baseball once again solves the issue. This series is just so fun, and like I said, like, if I didn't know about all the ins and outs of what's been going on with the production side of this series, I wouldn't even expect that this was having production issues, as this episode looked really good. Like, character models and everything, there's only a few times throughout the episode, like when the trumpet playing was happening, where it felt like they were taking shortcuts to avoid animating, like when she was playing the trumpet, and they just kind of panned across the screen, and then once in a while moved her fingers to imitate. But for the most part, this looked really damn good, and even that trumpet scene, it gave me some Sound Euphonium vibes. Like, that kind of like 3-minute trumpet scene, that's something I would expect from Kyoto Animation and Sound Euphonium. It was beautiful, and I love the atmosphere that built with that. It's just such a good series. I seriously love this, and even though we gotta wait a week, I'm fine if they make multiple episodes. that they just kind of like break up these episodes so they have time to finish them, because this is a rough production right now for this series, and I expect honestly by episode 10 we'll even have a recap episode, because I don't see how they can finish these episodes on time. I mean, that's why we're not getting the subtitles that fast, because typically a lot of anime companies that license anime, they'll get the episodes a week in advance so they can translate and get it up on time, like an hour after they air in Japan. But, you know, High Dive and Sentai and all them, they're not getting these episodes until like the same day, meaning that they have to translate same day, which is not typical, and you can tell that they're just getting these episodes by just in time for TV, so of course they're going to be taking breaks to get this done. But as long as we can keep the quality at a decent level and the story and characters good, I'm fine with it. But let me know your thoughts, and how excited are you for episode 7 in 2 weeks from now? Let me know your thoughts, and before you leave, smack that like button, share your support. If you're new channel, be sure to subscribe. So until next time, everyone, please take care and have a good one.